Hi, and welcome to Sixcess Stories. We are your hosts, Christina Gent.
And Eric Ozarowski.
And this is where we share real conversations with the 6 Degrees community all about life, leadership, and the power of meaningful connections. Today, we have Tommy Greenthumb, aka Tom Yozzo. Tom knows a thing or two about vegetables, a thing or two about yoga, and many more things about employee benefits, from going to goals games to surfing to bike pub crawls. He keeps himself active when he's not working at King Benefits.
That's Tommy with 3 M's, for the record.
For the record.
In this episode with Tom, we talk quite a bit about gardening, hence the Green Thumb moniker. We get into building a personal brand and how he's trying to incorporate a lot of his personality into the connections that he's trying to create as an employee benefits broker. We talk about his transition from the Bay Area down to San Diego and some of his experience in Silicon Valley that are very Silicon Valley. We also get into a conversation around life and purpose being tied to our jobs and work, and what will happen, not if, but when jobs are completely different than they currently are today.
Yeah, today was a really fun conversation with Tom. I hadn't really had the opportunity quite yet to just have some more kind of soloed time with him. So it was great to hear a little bit more about what he's doing, what he's working on. And I just really, really, really love the angle of the gardening and what he's currently crafting up. So stay tuned for what's gonna come of that. And please enjoy this episode of Sixcess Stories. Let's start with a check-in. So I would love to hear from each of us, what's a win so far from this week? What's something positive?
Do you want to go first? I can go first. Doesn't matter to me.
You can go, yeah.
Okay. I don't know if we were even recording at this point, but one of the podcasts that I was listening to was all about just creative different angles that people in the insurance industry take. And that kind of led me to start talking to someone that I've really admired in the space for a long time. And his whole thing is like, how can you blend who you are personally and professionally? And the magic is in like finding that happy medium. Because like I have this like gardening Instagram that obviously has nothing to do with work, but Eric, you and I have talked about it. And I like find way too much fun in it. And after listening to this podcast, and the guest was this guy who I've admired. I've watched his like LinkedIn content and stuff, and me and him were having this conversation, and it was basically like, why do I like making these Instagram videos so much? And can you help me figure out a way to like take that energy, but also how can I mix in what I do for my day job? And it was in conversations with him that he was like, hey, like, why don't you do like X, Y, and Z? And then this person that I've been trying to get in front of for a while, and I've been doing it the old-fashioned way, just like kind of calls and emails. Like I made this creative video and I sent it over to him on LinkedIn. He responded like 20 minutes later saying like, hey, I've been getting your emails, but like cool video, like I'll meet with you. And it just felt, I mean, obviously that's a win for me, but it just felt cool texting this guy who I've been talking to. Like I hope he feels good about it, because I'm like, dude, I was fired up about
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
And I just think like long term, like the more I can just lean into the stuff I like to do anyway, it makes work more fun, and hopefully it's like a two-way street.
Hell yeah.
You know?
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
a huge win.
So it was basically like kind of like someone that was an inspiration. You were able to connect with them. Is that the win, or like using that and then reaching out?
I guess it's both. There's a couple wins. I think it's a win that I kind of went down not the beaten path to get somebody to talk to me, because at the end of the day, like I can't figure out what problems I can solve before I talk to them. Like, so that's a win. But it was also just a win to meet with someone that I've kind of looked up to. I just think he's a super creative dude.
Yeah.
And then it felt good to like hopefully he feels like that's a win. Just like
to
me,
give back a little bit. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. That's really cool.
Yeah.
Win for me this week. I was in one of the groups and I had just multiple people be like, I don't know why this was different, but it felt different. And they're like, this is one of the best growth groups that I've been part of, which was really interesting. And I think part of it was more about like just the engagement. And it was a group of about 8 people. And just everyone's voice was in the room. And we were talking about leading through uncertainty. And just how everything is always going to be uncertain. And just really, it was interesting because multiple people at the end of it were like, this one felt really good.
Yeah.
Right. In a different way. And not that I don't know that they would say the other ones didn't feel good still, but just like this felt really productive. This felt like a really good use of time. And I learned a lot when I heard everyone's perspective. So I don't know how to capture that, put it in a bottle and repeat it and continue having that be the case, is every time someone's in a group, it's like, this one was the best one. I don't know how to keep doing that, but they're not all going to be the best. But that was definitely a win to be in that group and around people that just really appreciated sitting down for an hour and a half with other humans and chopping it up.
That's awesome. I mean, it kind of, so when you say like, I don't know how to bottle this up or repeat it, it's one of those things that like it's never going to happen again the way that it was, right? It's like when the beginning of each dinner, when you get up and, you know, just like thank everybody for being there and saying this room with these people in this moment, like it's not going to happen again. So to savor it. And so even in that situation, right, with that growth group, for whatever reason, the energy, the conversations, the flow. So that's really cool.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah. My win is more about a physical win. Today I finally woke up and felt probably 90% at like normal. This whole past week I've just been dealing with back issues that have really knocked me out. So waking up today and like actually just like getting up normally, like not crawling out of bed, but like getting up and being like, oh, okay. Oh, I'm able to move around and I am not in pain. That's amazing. So that is definitely a big win because this past week has been kind of miserable.
That's a win for me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know,
I'm sure.
It's like hard to enjoy other things in life when your back hurts.
Yeah.
Like
just health. If we don't have our health, like it's really hard to enjoy life. If I'm just in pain or sick or right, like it's hard.
Well, and it was such a mental and emotional struggle. It was because I felt like I wasn't able to show up for our team and for you, Eric, and for the members. Like we had an event on Saturday, and I mean I was there and I was present. It's just like I just felt like I was lacking, and then that led me down a whole rabbit hole of wow, I can understand how easy it is for someone to slip into addiction, even if they weren't someone who, I mean, I didn't take anything, like I had took some ibuprofen, but if I, you know, like just I was just like thinking like the process of like, oh, like if I actually went and got some harder drugs and whatever, and then like how much that could not only alleviate the pain physically, but also just mentally what I was struggling with. And I was like, oh yeah, this would be really easy for somebody. Like the people who go through injuries and surgeries and all that, and just the path, it's right there.
Slippery slope.
It's such a slippery slope. It's crazy.
Is this the first time that you've hurt your back?
It's been an issue for probably the last 4 or 5 years at this point, and so it's I do have an appointment for tomorrow to actually start something. I don't know exactly what the solution is, but I'm going to take some steps in that direction.
Good luck with that. I feel like your back is, I mean, at least hurting. I like hurt my back once, and it was like the only time in my life where there's no like quick fix. Like I met with somebody and they're like, oh yeah, you just have to stop exercising for 3 weeks. And then to your point, it's like, well, 3 weeks, like part of the reason why I exercise is I just like doing it. Like there's like a mental part of exercising. You just feel good. So then going 3 weeks, like it's just a long time. It's just takes a while to have your back not hurt, you know?
Yeah, I would say 3 weeks is
I'm
probably
rooting for you, but
short
it's just
end.
like it's tough to figure out. There's no like quick fix.
Yeah.
How'd
it's
you hurt it?
Ongoing. I'm not really sure exactly what was the trigger for all of this. I genuinely I think it's tied to stress more than anything else. So yeah, I don't know that there was a specific instance. I do remember one time lifting weights but this was after I had already had back issues. But there was one time that I was doing deadlifts, and I definitely, I let go of my core, and so it immediately it affected the back, right? So that I know happened, but it was already well into this back stuff. So I'm not sure if there's anything that was just there wasn't a specific moment that something went wrong. I think it's just over time.
Yeah.
Owning a business, maybe. Buying the business, and then it was oh, now you have back problems.
Did it not hurt before we moved out here?
No.
No.
Mm-mm. Well, and here's the thing too. What a drastic change in even the routine of my life. I was bartending and serving. I was constantly on my feet. In Chicago, I was walking to either wherever I was going, or at least to the public transportation, right? My body was doing a lot of different things there than it is here.
Yeah.
So
wait, and you're saying the things that you were doing in Chicago, being on your feet, that you're saying that was a positive.
Yeah, I mean, it was constant movement, right? Our bodies are supposed to be moving around, right? So going from that to now I'm just sitting, I'm on my computer, I'm sitting at a coffee, I'm sitting, I'm just constantly sitting.
Yeah. Do you ever try those walk pads?
Yeah, I mean, I have one at home. I'm not working at home. I feel like if I had an office and I had a desk, it would just live there, and anytime I was at that desk. But I don't like working at home, so there's just this whole catch-22 right now of.
I struggle with those walking pads anyway.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm kind of jealous of the people that can just lock in on those things. But yeah,
I would trip for sure.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. I'm not coordinated enough for that.
There was one time where I had my headphones in and I was either listening to music or something, and then Eric came into the room and just said my name, and I get scared so easily, and it scared the shit out of me, and I was on the walking pad and I jumped off, and it was this whole thing, and he was like, "Oh my God, you could have just died." I mean, not really, but so caution to those who use those walking pads. Yeah. They can be tricky.
It's a death trap.
Yeah. So, well, okay. So let's just for the listener and everything. And I know that you guys have had a little bit more of a in-depth conversation just because you guys got to sit next to each other at that dinner, which was.
It was a rowdy dinner.
That was a crazy dinner.
That's the only one you've been to so far.
I was going to say, I was so bummed texting you, Eric, that I couldn't make the one I signed up. I think I signed up for the last one that I couldn't make.
Yeah.
This could be a whole podcast conversation, topic of when I feel the most helpless in my life is at airports, because my wife just takes care of all of the travel plans.
Okay.
I don't know what time we're taking off. I don't know what gate we're at. I'm just following her blindly around the airport. And so I really need to be better about looking at, it was on my calendar, and I was Sammy, I'm going to this dinner, you should even come. The last one was so much fun, because that was my first really introduction to 6 Degrees. I'm like, this is great. And she's like, you idiot, we're flying.
We're flying.
So, oh my God, man. But yeah, I definitely, I'm signed up for the next one.
Oh yeah, Callie's, it's so good. Yeah. It's so good.
Well, so hold on. So with the whole travel thing, is that how she is? Is that because she doesn't trust you to do it? No,
we complement each other really well.
Okay.
She's crazy organized, and I'm not. So it's, I'm organized with some parts of my life, but when it comes to booking flights and just that whole area.
But was there an incident? Was there an instance or something? Did something happen, or she knew really early on?
I think she's planning for the future. I haven't messed up anything travel related.
She would never.
I just think that she thinks that I will, and she's probably right. So she just she handles that part of it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. That's funny.
She's just doing damage control.
Wait. Okay. So we talked about this, I think, before we started recording, but. The red eye that you have, literally, you said tonight, right? Yeah. And then that's the red eye that you had after the STFC game, and then so you're just talking about another time that was.
But you don't know what time the red eye is.
No, I gotta put.
You have a rough.
I gotta put my money where my mouth is. Yeah, I actually don't exactly know what time, but we have plenty of time. It's at 9 or 10. I'm proving my point.
You're stressing people out right now.
Yeah, it's 9 or 10. I know.
You don't know.
I know after
if it's
this,
9 or 10.
I'm meeting up with Sammy to get dinner. So we have enough time for like dinner and stuff.
Okay.
So I just got to reunite with her, and then I'm good. I'll just follow. I'll just follow her to the gate. Yeah, that's the plan.
That's hilarious. There's just been a lot of travel though that is overlapping with 6 Degrees. But do you travel often? Is that just like part of your guys' like just life, or is it just happened to be these last few months that there's been more?
Yeah, I feel like it's like this past year. And we're not even like I'm not traveling for work really, and it's not like we're backpacking around Europe. It's like we're going to so many weddings.
Yeah.
All my friends and I got a bunch of cousins. Like there's just everyone's getting married. So like most of this travel is wedding related.
Yeah.
It's that season. That season of life.
Yeah. This is actually one of the only trips in recent history that we're going to something not wedding related. I have a bunch of family on the East Coast, so we're spending the 4th of July there.
So when's the last time you traveled by yourself? If Sammy is that much of so important to you.
Man, yeah, I was gonna say I'm like afraid to travel by myself.
Has it been a while?
But that's the funny thing. Like when I travel by myself, it's like to go to a bachelor party or something. You know, like I haven't just like solo traveled in a while. I have some friends that are in different parts of the country that I went to college with that I've been meaning to get out there and see them.
Nice.
I mean, I'm sure you guys can relate to this. I just feel like, I don't know, I just feel like life gets crazy and I'm like, oh, if we're, like you can't travel all the time. So it's like you kind of have to pick your battles, but it's tough because you want to, I don't know, you want to make time for everybody.
Yeah, to be, like proximity is really makes things easier.
Yeah.
Right? It's harder to do it if so many people have so many relationships as like, we're still close, but I haven't seen them in 3 years.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So how close are we? Not as close as we used to be.
Yeah. So it makes FaceTime so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is wild. Even just thinking, the different stages of life and then like where everyone ends up. And then, I mean, it was, I got a text message from one of my best friends from high school. There was like 4 of us girls who were just like super tight. And she lives in Sweden, and she let us know that she's expecting. And so we were super excited about that. But even just thinking about in the text thread, one of my other girlfriends was like, oh, wow, she's planning to go to Sweden in like the summer of 2028. And she's like, by the time I go there and see you, like your child will already be 1.5 years old. And it's like, holy, like, whoa.
Yeah.
A whole, like I'm meeting a 1.5-year-old like by the time I get there, right? Like that's crazy.
Yeah, it is. I mean, this guy was in my wedding. He's my best friend in college. He just had his first child. He's a daughter. And, like, he lives in Raleigh, and I'm just like, dude, I'd love to see you and meet your child. Mm-hmm. But I'm like, when am I going to go to Raleigh? You know, like, it's...
Yeah, I've got a bunch of...
It's like, I really want to see him. And I'm sure, I mean, it's not like it'll be 10 years until I see him, but, like, I don't know, I'm not going to see him next week. Yeah, hopefully not. But
I've got a bunch of friends at this point. Like, they all have kids that are 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Like, and it's like, I've seen them once. And some of them, like the older ones, like 6, 7, 8. But like haven't met their kids, don't know when I'm gonna meet their kids, which is just crazy, right? If I was closer, it would be like a normal thing. Yeah. Right. But I'm gonna show up in like an 8-year-old's life, and they're gonna be like, "This is Uncle Eric." I'm like, who the fuck is this guy?
Yeah.
Who is this guy?
Because I know you told me at dinner, but where did you grow up?
Chicago.
Yeah. So like a lot of your buddies are in Chicago.
A lot of them are like the northwest suburb. Yeah, we grew up in the northwest suburbs. A lot of them stuck around there.
Okay. So a lot of them stayed.
A good chunk are still there.
Yeah.
A few people have dispersed a little bit, but the majority are still in that area.
And remind me where you grew up? Mm-hmm.
I grew up in the Bay Area.
In the Bay Area. Okay. Yeah. And you got down to San Diego when? January
1st of 2021.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So, yeah, like the middle of COVID.
Yep.
You're like a year after us.
Mm-hmm.
Tell us about, December of 2020.
Right.
Oh, so no, like a month.
It would have been a month. Yeah, a month difference. Yeah.
Like 15
Actually,
days.
a couple weeks. Yeah, because we landed here December 16th.
Oh, cool.
Of 2020.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Bad math. Tell us about San Francisco. How was growing up in San Francisco?
It was cool. I mean, I didn't grow up in the city. I grew up in a suburb of San Francisco. And same deal, like all my friends, like a lot of my friends still live in the Bay Area. And you probably want to hear more about San Francisco than the suburb I grew up in. But I did, so right after college, I was, the guy I was talking about who lives in Raleigh now.
Yeah.
Right after college, it was me, him, and our other friend. We moved straight to San Francisco. And I'll never forget, like, that first year of, like, the prices were just so insane that we lived in, it was labeled as a work/live. So we're like, what does that mean? So we are touring this apartment. We open the door to like the first, we think it's an apartment. It's like a startup. There, we walk in, there's like 10 dudes coding in front of a computer, and the person showing us this space was like, oh yeah, just imagine like all these computers and tables aren't there. Like you can also live here. And then so we're like, what? So we walked out and we're like, dude, no way. Like we need to keep this apartment search going. But then they told us like what the price was, and we're like, oh, like this is significantly cheaper for anything else we can find. So our apartment, it was actually a pretty big space, but it was a completely open floor plan. We had like 40 outlets in our apartment because it was like literally for an office. Yeah, and so when you walked in, it was this huge space, first floor, and then there was a little staircase that went to an open loft. And the three of us literally would, like, we'd be cracking up like every night. Like we could say goodnight to each other without even raising our voice. Like there were no walls. We basically had a sleepover for like an entire year.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So like it was super fun, and like, I mean, we're right in the city. So like, I don't know. I just feel like my first couple years out of school, it literally just felt like college. It's just instead of going to class for 3 hours a day, like you have, like the stakes are higher, you know, like you're going to, we all work downtown. So like walking to work every day, and it was great. Like I loved it. But then COVID hit, and like all of the great reasons to live in a place like San Francisco, personally, I'm like I'm living here to be where the action is and walk to work and meet a bunch of cool people. And it's like, we're like, we're like renting out the bathroom to take an important work call. Like we're all trying to figure out how to work on Zoom for the first time. It was like ridiculous. So
it's the most Silicon Valley, like
it was
finding an apartment.
It was ridiculous. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we're like, all right, good night, Dom. He's like, good night.
It's actually funny. The first place that I had in Chicago was actually, it was similar. It was this little studio. And this girl that I went to high school with, she was going downtown, but I had it for myself for like the first 4 months because she was like moving. We were both going to we both went to DePaul.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this will work out. So I got to like be there for the summer. But it was there was a bedroom, living room, and then there was this kitchen, and then off the kitchen was this little area that they put like a little screen. And like that became like, that's where my bed was.
Yeah.
Once she moved in, I just pretended like the whole time like that summer. I'm like, I didn't even pretend like the bedroom was there. I'm like, I don't want to get used to it.
Yeah.
So I just lived.
You just gotta get creative.
But like, and then like so the window, or like the kitchen had like a little kitchenette window thing. So if you were in the kitchen, you just like see me sleeping, like.
Yeah.
And just like looking back on it, I was like, that was a ridiculous setup.
Yeah. Well, at least San Francisco, I appreciated it because we were not the only people getting creative. Like almost everyone you met like right out of school that were living in San Francisco. Like one of my friends, you couldn't walk into someone's room without walking through somebody else's room. Mm-hmm. You know, and like one of my other friends, like they basically slept in the kitchen. So it was just like every apartment party you went to, or like whenever you were, I don't know, just like in your travels, like, I don't know, I've seen some pretty creative setups, you know.
Well, it sounds like at least you guys had space, right? Like,
yeah.
A lot of.
Sure, we didn't have walls, but like we had a lot of space.
You had a lot of space. Like I think of like New York, and how New York is like you buy like this little tiny shoebox of a place, or like, right?
Yeah.
Or people are sharing like on top of each other.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's just like, how many people live here in this? What's the square footage?
Yeah.
Right? But for three of you, it sounds like it was pretty at least spacious, other than like you're sleeping together, like sleeping in the same room
like
with each other.
Yeah, just like a sleepover. It's so funny.
That's so fun.
Yeah. One of my buddies had a girlfriend at the time when they're still together, and it makes sense because if she could put up with that year, like my friend with the girlfriend, his name is Elliot, and we'd be like, "Good night, Elliot," and he's just like, dude, like you knew all year he just wanted to move out, you know? Like,
of course.
Right after I think he moved in with his girlfriend right after, you know, so I felt bad for him.
Well, yeah, because that's where my head was at. I was just like, man, like bringing a girl over, right?
Yeah.
Like having somebody over and like to stay the night, like something that a lot of couples really enjoy to do. But then it's like,
no, there was no
a whole
there was no me time at all, you know. It's so funny.
So if we're getting into any funny business, everyone's gonna know about it.
Yeah.
We're all
Literally had to like schedule the apartment. Like I'm gonna be here for like this time. I'm like, all right.
Schedule it. The classic.
Yeah,
like,
you had to honor the schedule.
Tie on the door, like we're busy.
Yeah, but it was for like the entire apartment.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Do not come home during this window.
Yeah. You're like, man, Elliot's being really selfish. You know, we're just walking around San Francisco. We can't even go back to our apartment.
Man.
What was the best part of San Francisco, like when you were living down there, and then before COVID and all that stuff? Like, what would you say the best part of?
I liked how walkable everything was.
Yeah,
that's the best part. And like I know we're like talking about like the funniness of like your first couple years out of college, but like the apartment setup was so fun. Like I kind of miss just like the randomness of those first few years out of school.
Sure.
And like everyone you meet is just like trying to figure it out too, you know? So I remember like my first job out of college, I really didn't like very much. I had an awesome manager, and he's why I only did it for a year, but like I think I would have quit within the first month if it wasn't for my manager. He was just a super cool dude.
What was the job?
You know, like the back end software that connects your phone to like a Venmo.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So it was selling that software. So it was like a very technical sale. Like we were selling to like financial institution. It just was not up my alley.
Sure. Yeah.
At all. But my manager was a cool guy, so I'm like, oh, at least like, you know, I can learn from this cool person. And it wasn't even in the city. Like I was jumping on the Caltrain every day to go to Redwood City. So it was like all my buddies are like working in San Francisco, and I'm jumping on the train every day. So like that got old.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, the coolest thing was it just seemed like everyone was, you know, around your age. Everyone's figuring it out. Even if you don't like your job, it's like, dude, no one likes their job. Like there was a lot of people that didn't like their job just because it's hard to get it right when you first get out of school.
Yeah.
At least that's what my opinion is, you know. So I just kind of felt like we were all in this together. And then COVID hit, and it was kind of like the end of an era.
Sure. Well, I was talking about this with someone the other day. Like, what percentage of, I'll just keep it to America, like what percentage of Americans would say that they like their job?
Huh.
That's a really good question.
That's a great question.
My guess would be it's definitely below 50%.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, I would agree.
Probably
with that.
somewhere around, generously, like around 25 to 30%.
That's what I was going to say. It was like, and that's generously was also a word I was going to use for that.
Yeah, because I also feel like it's easy to not appreciate. Even if you do like your job, it's easy to get asked that question and then think of the reasons why you don't like your job or how it could be better, you know?
Yeah.
Where it's like, dude, there's a lot of worse, harder jobs out there, you know?
But liking it versus loving it. Imagine if every single person like was super excited about what they were doing. And there's some jobs, like there are people that would be excited about the quote unquote shitty jobs.
Yeah.
Right? Like there are people like they like those types of things, or their brain works in a certain way where something that you and me would be like, this is like selling this software stuff is like the worst thing ever. But there are people that fucking would like, if they knew how to do it and they could do it well, like they would love that.
Yeah.
Right? So it's just like, there's such like an inefficient, so we spend so much time working. It's like 80% of our lives.
Yeah.
And then nobody fucking likes what they're doing. They're, at best possible cases, 25%, right? A fourth of us. And then you have AI coming to take it all over, which how many people? So like I got to make money. People like the money part. There's a bunch of this. There's going to be this kind of whole thing. It's like, you don't have to do the shitty job anymore. What happens? What does everyone go do? Or do they still just sit and complain about life?
Well,
yeah. Oh my God. I mean, we could like brainstorm on this topic forever, because part of me thinks like people need jobs, money aside, because it gives them purpose. I don't even know what I would do all day if I didn't
I
have
think
something that I know I needed to do.
I think that is going to be one of the biggest. So think about how many people retire, and then they go after the year of golfing, or they go do something. And they go, I didn't have the purpose. I didn't have that.
Mm-hmm.
I think that is going to happen to almost all of us. This lack
at
of,
some point in our lives.
In our lives, in the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years, if my purpose and my identity is tied to the job that I do.
Because you're saying AI specifically is going to take.
Well, just the majority. It's just like everything's going to change so much. We can't even imagine how much it's going to change. But like if my purpose is tied to work, which isn't a bad thing inherently, but if that gets just taken away, there's going to be a bunch of people that are going to feel exactly how the people that have been retiring for the last 50 years, almost all of them say that. So there's so much that we can probably learn from. So how did you find purpose if you retired? That there's going to be a version of that, I would bet, that we all have to go through.
Yeah, which is scary because some people don't like being retired.
No. There's people that retire for a year and then come back and go, yep, that wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think, a lot of, so the retirement phase or what you're talking about to me just sounds like a lot of time with just me and so much reflection and looking internally, even finding my purpose, right? That takes introspective work. And a lot of people don't want to. That's really scary. That's really daunting. That it can feel like a lot. And I think a lot of people, like, that's going to be the biggest challenge, is people aren't going to want to do that. So then we find the type of, have you seen WALL-E, the Pixar movie?
Yes, but it's been forever.
But
I have seen it.
Like, all the humans are in these little like chairs that float around, and they have a screen, and they're just zombies. They don't even interact with each other, right? Because that's the easy thing to do, is to not have to work on myself or find that purpose or find the thing, like, what would I fill my time with? And so, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see, especially with how much technology we all already have and how that evolves, and what are people going to do with all that time? Are they going to try and find purpose and find something, find meaning, find community, find humans, or are they going to continue to be glued to these devices?
That's why, you mentioned gardening, right? And how you have this joy and passion for that. And by the way, did you watch the Zach Galifianakis?
Yeah.
Did you like it?
I did. Yeah. It was like way more wholesome than I thought, because like I've seen like the Between Two Ferns. It's like so funny, but it's like a completely different type of humor than what the gardening show is.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But it's the same guy.
That is. Well, it's like the same kind of concept. It's just with kids instead of making
but it was
fun
like
of
it was
actors.
cool to see him like interact with kids, but also make it funny for adults.
Yeah.
You know.
I loved it. It's one of the best. It's one of the best things I've watched in a really long time.
It's such a feel good show. Like there's certain shows where like you could.
And they're 15 minutes. Like it's like, this is great.
Yeah, I know. I start to lose focus. Like it's just like that's such a good period of time. Like I'll chill for 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Watch a show.
So how did you get into gardening? And I guess talk a little bit about that.
Yeah, dude, you'd think
hobby.
that every 30-year-old man would be into gardening, you know, but of
course.
Yeah, but I don't know. It's so weird. Like my grandpa's super into gardening. My dad's super into gardening. So you guys are talking to a fourth generation. Yeah, fourth generation tomato farmer over here. My grandpa's dad. But yeah, so honestly, it was like when I finally had enough space to garden, I was like moving in, and my dad was like, oh, like he didn't talk at all about like the furniture or literally anything inside. He was just like, he's like, you got to get a garden going. And I'm like, I don't know if that's my thing. Like, I feel like that's for old people. And he was like, no, trust me, like you're going to love it. And then, and he was right. And then also the cool thing is, I have a close relationship with my grandpa. He's 90.
Nice.
And we talk about a bunch of stuff. During COVID, he's like really into crypto. He's weirdly like, he's pretty with it.
Yeah,
for being
90 and he's into
90.
crypto. That's a very small chunk
and
of the population.
and he has a sense of humor, and he's just like a fun guy to talk to. Like I really do interact with him like he's a friend of mine, but he's really into gardening. So then that's been cool to talk to him about gardening. So I guess that's how I got into it.
And you mentioned tomatoes, so is it mostly like fruits and vegetables, or?
Yeah, mostly fruits. It's really mostly, I mean, like the Yozzos are.
Hold on, what else would it be?
Like
flowers.
Like flowers.
Oh,
yeah, gardens can be flowers and like.
That didn't even cross my mind as a possibility. Like I don't know if the way you're telling is, like, I didn't picture you have like a bunch of flowers going on, but maybe you do.
Well, it could be. I mean, there's. I mean, just plants and trees, and I mean, like, there's all kinds of things that grow in the ground
maybe
that I
just
can
based
garden.
on our first conversation, we were talking
Sure.
specifically
Right.
things
For,
I
yeah,
can.
for
have
me,
more
it's
context.
Yeah, for me, it's really just a vegetable garden.
Yeah.
But that's really, I just feel peer pressure. Like my dad and grandpa would make fun of me if I wasted any real estate on anything other than vegetables.
Food.
They're very passionate about their
veggies.
vegetable garden.
How big is it? Like, what's the?
It's
dimensions?
like.
And are you using all?
Yeah.
Is it optimized?
Yeah, like my grandpa I'll get him on FaceTime, and his go-to is just talking shit about me because I'm not using. He always thinks that there's enough room for one more tomato plant. He's like, what are you doing? And he's like, I'm like, they need a little space to like spread their wings. I mean, I don't know. I'm just putting myself in the tomato shoes, but they're always like, he's like, dude, you got to plant more. But it's probably like, I don't know, it's like a couple feet by, I probably have, I don't know, 30, 40 feet.
Okay.
So it's like, there's enough for a good amount.
Yeah. That's a good.
But yeah, he's really big on packing it in, you know.
One more tomato.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, but to have like my own. I mean, we just had one of our other members, Martina Sotka. I don't know if you've met her or not.
Oh, I think I met her in a small group.
Yeah. So she's
I really hope I don't butcher this, but is she in the banking industry?
Yes.
Okay, then yeah,
and
I know.
Retiring in literally 4 days.
Oh, okay. Oh,
yeah.
Nice.
So yay to her. But she has her own like garden and stuff, and she sent us home with tomatoes and things like that. And yeah, they're so good because they're so fresh. Like they taste amazing.
Yeah.
So
I'm glad you said that because I always wonder, I'm like, do these taste good because I grew them, or do they taste good because they taste good?
Well, probably a little bit of both.
The answer is yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Grown with love. So
Yeah. My coworkers were making fun of me because I took a picture of like probably a handful of green beans, and I'm like, check this shit out. Like I grew this. They literally like there was really no positive response. It was just, how long did it take you to grow that? And I'm like, oh well, it did take 5 months to get a handful of. I'm like, yeah, but it's not about that.
it's not about that.
They're like you could have gone to a grocery store and like, you know, spent a couple bucks and gotten like 10 times as much. But I'm like, yeah, but
that's not the point.
It's not the
same.
same.
Yeah.
Not the point.
Does Sammy garden with you too, or is it mostly just you?
It's just me.
Okay.
Actually, we just recently got Sammy's mom a little like self-watering little gardening setup.
Nice.
So I'm trying to spread my influence as much as I can.
Yeah, that's great.
Sammy's a good cook, so like I'll grow the stuff and then she'll cook.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is there anything that you don't buy from the grocery store at this point? Because it's like, no, I know how to grow it. We grow that. I'm done.
Yeah, we get a ton of tomatoes.
Yeah.
And then like peppers and stuff, like bell peppers, jalapenos.
Nice.
And then other things are just like a mixed bag, dude. I can't figure out a way to grow an eggplant. There's little things that I'm like, I really want it, but I don't know why. My philosophy on gardening is they have to adapt to me, which isn't the best strategy. So like I have my garden, they all get the same. I'm just about equality. Like I water them all the same. You either adapt or you don't.
Or you die.
It's really it's an adapt or die mindset. So some vegetables are crushing it. Others just they die because I know, like, I'll jump on ChatGPT and they're like, oh, you're supposed to water this once a week, and I'm like, oh, but that doesn't fit the watering
Schedule.
that doesn't fit the overall watering schedule. So, yeah.
That's funny.
If it's too much work, you're like, nope.
Yeah. There's no individual love. They all get the same amount of love.
That's really funny.
This took Eric a while to figure out some. He likes plants, so he's got some that live inside
They
our
have
house.
been struggling. I just actually one of them died. You haven't seen it yet. I have this what is it? Dracula.
R.I.P. Which one?
Is it
Is
the
it
ones
Ed,
that
Ed
like?
and Eddie?
Is it like the ones that like hang down?
No, they're like it's like a dragon. It's like a dragon plant. Dracanaris something.
Was it Ed, Ed and Eddie?
Ed and Eddie, yeah. The tall one. The tall one guy.
Oh, so Ed of Ed, Ed and Eddie.
Oh,
is
so they're
passed.
like, are they like three?
They're three
plants?
separate plants. One
Oh.
of them was much taller, and then I basically had I don't know, or I do know what happened. I sprayed it, and this is not a plant I'm supposed to spray. I learned that after the fact, but I sprayed it on like the 2 or 3 day window, like 2 or 3 months ago, that was super humid, and it just all the moisture caught up, and it just like got all of this fungus, and so I ended up having this tall one. I had to pluck all the leaves off of it, but there was some sprout. I'm like, oh, okay, like it'll grow back, and then something happened with maybe like how I plucked it, or maybe it was too much, where like the top of it like ended up like wilting, and then I reinforced it with like a golf tee and a zip tie, and I thought I saved it, and then I think it was wilted for too long, and something happened where like the moisture got bottled up on the bottom of it, and then the entire thing rotted on me.
Oh man.
And I mean,
at least you're pulling out all the stops.
I tried. I was trying. I hate when they die. It makes me sad.
Yeah.
And I have like succulents. Like I've had. So like I didn't know fluoride water. Like the water in the fluoride in the water here is a big thing. And so like these plants don't like fluoride. So I had to buy my fucking plants bottled water.
Yeah, we literally have like big jugs of glacier water that are for the plants.
Oh,
there's just there's probably some stuff like that. Like there's just so much science to all of it, right?
Yeah.
And it's just like I don't know. In Chicago, I had all my plants. I watered them. I figured out the schedule, and that's what I did, and they thrived.
Yeah.
And here it's so much harder, and I don't know why.
There is a whole science element to it, which is cool. My grandpa was a science teacher for his career.
Nice.
So yeah, he nerds. Sometimes I'm like, can you just tell me how much I need to like?
Yeah.
I don't know. He goes deep on the vegetables, which is cool.
Well,
a science teacher, that's fun.
Yeah.
If you want them to grow, they need certain things, and it's just figuring out what they need and how to give it to them.
Yeah.
They're not all equal.
Well, right. I mean, there's a reason why even just the plants that exist in all different parts of the world, and why it's because that's the environment that they thrive in.
Yeah.
There's no palm trees in Kansas. That wouldn't work. Gotta come to California.
Well, so you mentioned that there's passion for creating some of these gardening videos, and tying that into what you're doing with the employee benefits.
Yeah.
Like, have you figured? And it sounds like this week is a newer revelation, and that's an interesting thought.
I'm sure. Yeah. Like I'm trying to think of how to answer this. I don't have an answer for like what will be like the theme of the videos as it relates to employee benefits yet. I might in the future, but it's more about like, I think every video will be different. It's more about in today's age of AI, like it's super important to be like a real person.
Right.
And so like when I'm just the employee benefits industry is different than, because my career really has been selling software to the employee benefits space.
Right.
And so the difference there is the software solves a problem, and then I would come in saying like, hey, I have a solution to your problem, and you either have the problem or you don't. With benefits, it's like before you talk to someone for the first time, it's really tough to figure out you don't know their problem. Like their problem might be they're losing employees. Their problem might be there's just so many different problems they might have that you don't know until you meet with them.
Sure.
So I just think the video piece of it, I believe that it could be an interesting way for me to show who I am and talk about why they should meet with me, considering I don't actually know their problem. I mean, of course, the cost of healthcare goes up every year, and I believe that for small businesses, they're not getting the love that they should. But still, that's just an assumption. Like, I don't actually know until I talk to them. So good news is it's a marathon. Like, I think I'll be doing this for a long time, hopefully. I do find myself daydreaming about, like, how do I just use video to my advantage, because I like to do it, and I also think that there's a lot of noise out there, so I just think it helps you be like a normal dude.
I mean, there's
cut through the noise.
So many ways that you can, like, analogies and things, from like gardening to operating a business, and your clients are business owners, and so even just relating to the business owner in that way, like there's so many things where I'm like, oh yeah, you could talk about things.
Well, just what popped into my head was like, here's what happens if you treat all your employees equal. Some of them will leave.
Yes. No, that actually would be a great video of, like, hey, like, listen, I water all my plants the same. Some thrive, some quit,
some die.
Like, there's a blessing and a curse in that, you know.
That's so true. See, there's one video.
Like, sometimes you need strategies for different types of employees.
I mean, there's, to Christina's point, there's so many analogies. Like, so if you're planting seeds, like literally planting seeds, and like going and doing quote unquote networking or building relationships, it's like, I'm planting seeds.
It took 5 months to get my green beans.
This one, these motherfucking green beans.
Yeah.
Some of them I got in 2 weeks. Some of them took 5 months. Like, there's so many things.
Yeah.
You've got a lot.
Yeah, I didn't even think of that. Because I'm like, I would be a better quote-unquote employer if I watered each of my plants, employees, differently. Yeah. But I don't. I have other things that I'm trying to do. So I'm like, I'll just water them all the same. But some die. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to drive home and just be thinking about
it. So just like the garden, use the garden as the analogy and think about there's so many things. That you can get super creative.
And because it doesn't have to be about employee benefits. It could be about just owning a business, and like your prospects are going to relate to that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah, and then just kind of weaving in some, here's employee benefits, and here's how it helps, and right, I don't know, there's structure, like tomato plant, little spiral things that they need. Without that, they don't grow, and like somehow that's employee benefits.
Yeah,
and there's different tiers to the things. I'm just spitballing, but like there's so many little things that you could.
Yeah.
No, and I like the spitball element of it. Just to give one more shout out to the guy on the pod. His name is Sims Tillerson.
Okay.
And I just think he's super creative, and it almost goes back to like, oh, do you like your job? It's like, I'm sure there's days where I could just think about insurance and I'd be like, I don't like this job. It's, insurance is boring sometimes. But what makes it not boring is in the creativity and like, oh, how do you actually talk to a business owner about their business problems? Oh, and if I could like loop in gardening and making these funny videos where I can show some personality, like that's what makes the work part fun. And then obviously when you're in front of someone just trying to solve problems, like that's fun too. But that's why I'm like, I really want to like just keep brainstorming about that topic of just the creative piece of.
There's so much there.
Even like with what you said about the tomato plants and your grandpa wanting to, there's room for another one.
Oh,
and
yeah.
but you want
He's
your plants to like have room and space. I don't know exactly what that ties to, but like it ties to something, right? Like that's another. Yeah. It's another one.
There's something about teamwork, about like the water and the soil and the sunlight for this thing to happen. There's all these different elements to it.
Yeah,
gardening. There's the gardening analogy. Run, go.
Yeah, it's so smart. I'm excited.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the videos that you come up with.
Stay tuned. We got to get Frank. That's my grandpa. We got to get him on the podcast because he like part of this gardening Instagram is I'll have him on FaceTime with me.
Yeah,
and he's just yelling at me like the whole time. Like it's like funny. He's like, he's like a crotchety old man. But he means well, and it's just he's always been like that. There's like some humor in it.
What's the handle? It sounds like I need to follow.
Tommy Green Thumb.
Tommy Green Thumb. I'm gonna have to follow that.
3 M's.
3 M's. There's someone.
2 M's. You'll find a very different type of green thumb. It's like a weed account. I went to go make Tommy Green Thumb. We're like, oh, Tommy Green Thumb with 2 M's is already taken. So I'm like, oh well.
3. How long have you had it?
Oh, I like just kind of started it.
Okay. Maybe
probably
find
like
maybe find a different name, because
Maybe.
you're gonna get confused when it blows up. If
I know,
you're
yeah.
gonna help this other
This
Tommy.
this weed guy's like, how am I getting all these followers, these like random followers from San Diego?
That would be funny.
Yeah.
So in terms of employee benefits, you've been at this for basically the beginning of this year, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, I'm new to being a consultant, but
what's been the thing that you're most proud of, that you've, being newer into this part of the industry, you're familiar with the industry, but what's an accomplishment that you feel like you're really proud of at this stage, being earlier in a new role?
That question makes me think, because I would assume that, when I'm 60 years old, I'm going to have all these different like case studies of saving people money. And it's like, I haven't even gotten a chance to do that yet. But one thing I am proud of is I got a client a couple weeks ago, and he sent me a text saying, hey, are you sure like all these additional resources, like that's included? Like I don't have to pay for that. And that's kind of where I'm like, I have this assumption that there's a lot of small local businesses where their broker's really not taking care of them. Mm-hmm. Maybe because it's a small business, like they're taking care of the larger businesses out there. But like that text, made me feel good, where it's like, okay, like if I can solve this problem for one, like there's got to be similar businesses that like aren't getting some of this other things out there that are in addition to, of course, we want to save you money on your healthcare, but like, what are you doing about HR support? Like, what are you doing for like all these other things that are super important to your business,
right,
that your broker really should be handling, but they're not for whatever reason?
Well, I wonder if there's, just because we're talking about the gardening, I wonder if there's an opportunity to niche down and focus on just anything related to the garden space, the plant space. There's so many small businesses that have farming pieces, components to it. So I wonder if that's a place to play.
Yeah, I do wonder what the good news about what I've been doing, distributing our product only through brokers, is I know so many great brokers out there that it's been really helpful. Like I probably called 50 brokers, and some are like all over the country. Like there's this broker in Iowa, his name is Jerry, and I mean obviously we don't compete with each other at all, but like he was just super helpful before I even became a broker, like just picking his brain. And the best brokers that have been doing this a million times longer than I have, like a lot of them do focus on a niche, and like they have a very specific story that they tell. It's not like, hey, like, everybody needs insurance, like I'm a broker. It's like they do a good job baking in the fact that they are a broker, but they bake in kind of what their angle is and who they are as a person. So
that's just sales.
Yeah,
right.
That's a good point. But I do think eventually I'll be like, I do think picking an industry is good. Right now I'm really just focused on like, I don't know, how do I solve the problem of these small businesses not getting the love that they should.
Well, and I mean, but how cool though, because I was just thinking like, oh, like the farmer, right? The farmer who has this, and they're so passionate about the gardening, right? They're passionate about the nutrition and the thing that they're doing. And for business owners, it's like, we don't know what we don't know. And so to your point of the person who texted you and was like, thank you so much, or like, are you sure? Like, are you sure I get all this? Like, I don't even know. Right. And like, I think about, I mean, I'm from Kansas, and I think about so many of my best friends and their parents were farmers. And so, and to have employees and like to be operating a business and like everything that goes into it. And yeah, I mean, they need support, they need love. And so that's a really cool way to tie in everything about like the gardening piece that you're doing, and then who you're supporting, and if I mean, not to tell you where to go and like what industry to pick, but it's cool how that could tie in really well.
Yeah, I'm gonna put some thought into that video. I'll send you guys something.
I'm excited.
If anything, it'll make you laugh.
Or just even if it was like like nurseries, like so if you found like business owners that are in that space, and like maybe you somehow like the videos incorporate them like they incorporate your grandpa, right? Like so there's this is my client, and they run this nursery. They've got 100 people, or I don't know how, like, but like finding the right businesses, because I would imagine like some of the farmers market type stuff is like they're great, but like that's not who.
Yeah, well, I'm thinking of like Fox Point Farms, right? And then the other one that's
have you been to Fox Point?
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
Super cool setup.
Yeah. So like if that was a client, right, and how it ties into like the gardening piece, and like now it all kind of comes together, right? Like
I made like a little list of my dream clients. Like at some point in my career, I would love to have them as a client.
Yeah.
And there's a nursery by my house, and it's Green Thumb Nurseries. And I'm like, dude, like Green Thumb Nurseries. I'm Tommy Green Thumb. Like we gotta figure something out here. But yeah, I think you're right.
That's
like,
really cool.
There's plenty of businesses that are somehow tied to.
Yeah.
1,000%.
And not that those have to be the only like end all be all businesses, but like if that's what you're passionate about and that overlaps, when you have them as clients, you're going to be way more excited to get them. Right?
Yeah.
And then you'll like other things will come.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But it's like, no, I'm Tommy Green Thumb. I focus on this and I help agriculture, nursery, farming, anything to do with, and that expands into all these different things.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And
that's really cool.
if someone's an XYZ business, right? Like I'll do that too.
Yeah.
Right. But
and that's like these brokers that I've talked to. That's kind of like their thing. Like
that's how it works.
They really would prefer to work with high growth tech companies, but there's a manufacturing company that needs help, so of course they'll help them. It's kind of like it's kind of what they've been doing. I just hope they don't ask me too many questions, because like when you say like you have friends that are farmers, like they might look at my little garden and you're like, oh, this guy's like a farming faker, like I'm like
farming faker.
He's just doing it. He's
I'm
doing
like,
it for the clout.
Yeah, dude. I mean, I grew up in the Bay Area. Like I don't know what I'm doing, but I do like having like a little.
No, I think there's a novice in everything, right? Like everyone started somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
And I think certain people's like, certain people in that world, they'd be like, I remember first getting started, and here's all the mistakes that I made.
Yeah.
Right. And that video with your grandpa, like I did that.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I don't think people are gonna like expect you to know everything that end all be all.
Yeah. No, that's a good point.
They're gonna like, oh, so cool for you to be at this level or this stage. I remember that.
Yeah.
Right. I would imagine that's how a lot of people would react.
For sure.
And it's just scale and mastery and being interested in getting better, figuring out how to get the eggplant to fucking work or whatever.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think about like where I'm at right now with my career, and I mean, I know we keep relating things back to gardening, but the people that are in this, time is your friend with this industry. Like the brokers that have been successful, it's like part of the reason is because they've been doing this for 20 years and they're experts. They've had the same clients for 20 years, and that's why it's like I just get excited because hopefully I have a lot longer in my career before I retire, and I just do the gardening thing. That'll be my full-time job. But like gardening's the same way. Like this shit doesn't happen overnight.
Mm-hmm. It takes time.
It grows.
Yeah, I gotta water it. Gotta seed it. There's so many things. Oh, I'm so my brain, like the creative part of my brain is so excited for you.
You could get weird with this stuff.
You can definitely get weird with it for sure.
Yeah.
I just love like when there's something like that where it's niched down in a way. It gets its own audience, and it's not just like, I'm marketing to everybody. I'm speaking to everybody. It's like, no, I'm talking about people who love gardening.
Well, I also love when there's a brand
to
it, right? So do you know John Osting? Have you met John yet?
Yeah.
Okay. But so he has like this whale hunter branding that he's done with it, and it's just like it's very him, and it's everything, all these little kind of catchy little things that he has for the Whale Hunter Chronicles and all these different things within it. Yeah. And it's really cool when someone starts building a brand that way.
Mm-hmm.
And he does lead generation, correct?
He does lead gen. Yeah.
So but what's so cool is there's a lot of lead generation companies out there, but like the fact that John has a brand behind John is so cool, because not every lead generation company, like most lead generation companies are like, we'll help you get leads. Like that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
So I agree.
And he's found a fun, playful way to
and you can see his personality too. Like I'm excited to get to know John. We're actually trying to schedule a coffee together, but you feel like John just by looking at his LinkedIn. Like he's super involved with the community. I mean,
my gosh.
He's hanging out with somebody every day.
Yep.
So it's I don't know. I just think the brand element of this is something that I'm excited for. We talked about it a little bit over dinner. One thing I struggled with when I was selling software was that you're just like on Zoom all day, you know, like all your clients is just all virtual. And I don't know. I'd like to, I mean, everyone does it their own way, but I would like to take a page out of John's playbook. Like, I just admire the fact that he's actually out there talking to people so much, you know?
And he's such a good example of he's going to give a high five, a public high five on social media with anyone that he sits down with, right? He acknowledges the person, how they met, where if maybe it was an event, and he'll tag and he'll just really, really amplify the people that he's with and share about either what they're working on or their business or something, right? And I'm like, that's amazing. Like, that's how we all grow as a community. That's how we continue to just like support one another, right? Support for each other can look, it can be very different things for different people of what we might need. It might be a direct introduction, a direct referral, but also to have a really cool shout out and like the visibility that comes across for a platform like LinkedIn. That's awesome. So he's really, really good at that.
Yeah. It's cool too, because I feel like no matter what you're selling, like there's going to be some people that need lead generation and some people that don't, but I'm sure a lot of people just want to know John because of who it seems like he is. I mean, I'm in that bucket. I don't know John, but I want to, because I'm like, he's at least seems like, I don't know if I need lead generation help or not, but he seems like a cool dude.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. I mean, it's funny because, I mean, 10, 15 years ago, personal brand was a really hot topic, and this thing called social media, it's like, this is a way to build your personal brand, and some people, but it feels like right now even more so now with AI, how much as a human being and how important it is to stand out in that way, to show my personality, to not just have it be these robotic industry updates or statistics or, right, like nobody's reading that.
Yeah.
Right? But it's being me and in a way that is connecting with other people for exactly the reason that you're saying. It's like, I don't even know John, but I want to.
Yeah.
Just because of his activity and how he's presenting whatever he's presenting, right? Is just it's an example of, I think, the personal brand piece. It's a pathway to trust, right? I still have to, okay, does that actually match? Does the online experience match however I sit down with that person, right?
Right.
'Cause that still has to line up.
Right. But at least like phase one, that's going back to the videos with AI. I mean, there's dialers that can make 1,000 calls a day when you pick up. They're programmed to say and it really sounds like a dude cold calling you. And then same thing with emails, and it's just like, again, like, how do you break through the noise? And just like, step one is, I just want you to think that I'm a real person and not AI. Like, that's step one.
Yeah.
And it's, I don't know, I'm like, it almost scares me, because if I feel like this now, like, what is it gonna be like?
This is the worst it's ever gonna be.
Well, don't you think this is the best it's going to be? Because in 10 years from now, don't you think this problem is going to get worse?
I mean, the technology is the worst it's going to be. Meaning, when someone says, when an AI auto dials and calls me and it sounds, but I can kind of still tell maybe. It's like, this is the worst.
You mean in the future you're not going to be able to.
You won't. When we're already there. Like, there are already certain things, there are videos, there are certain things that are happening right now that literally half the population can't even tell the difference, probably more than half.
Yeah.
Right? So there is someone, and this is like even the video thing, like, I can record a video and have all the body movements be me, and then I can throw a filter over it and have it be Christina.
Yeah.
Or someone else, or a purple Smurf looking thing. Right? That already exists.
Yeah.
So like, video is anything to, like, I'm more and more of like, I'm not there. If I can't touch it, if I can't feel it, I question it.
Yeah. Sims brought up a really good point about this topic, and he was like, everything that you put out there needs to either be like you, meaning like AI would never be able to replace it, but then he takes it a step further and he's like, either talking about your experiences that are uniquely yours, or you teaching your audience something is really the only thing you can do that isn't going to be threatened by AI, because you're teaching someone from your own experience, which I thought was like an interesting
Yeah,
thought, you know.
so AI will have, and it already does this a little bit. There will be versions of, I can have an idea of what it might be to be you, right? Eric and Christina have recorded 60 podcasts. I can have AI go listen to all that, and it can actually probably sound like us. It could do things like, Eric might say things like this, but the real human experience of whatever I've been through and the emotion that comes with it, like it will never be able to pull that. It'll get really, really close, and it's already pretty close in some ways. It'll never be able to have what it's like to go through something, right? That's not possible.
Right, because it doesn't have the history of, like, each of us have our own experience of our life up, to this point, and our own memories and the feelings and everything that came with each moment in those. So yeah, I mean, where I might start to hear an emotion from somebody, because we don't have visual for these podcasts, we just do audio, it can guess, to your point, but it's not going to know what might make any of us feel something and say something a certain way.
And that's where, like, we connect with other people when we can really feel like it's real. There's actually a feeling that happens. I forgot who was talking about this. It was some actor was talking about how, yeah, there's AI that can do all the things, and it can say, well, this is the feeling, and it can aggregate all the stuff of what that might feel like. But for me to pull in, like, my personal experience and bring that into a role and have it really connect with the audience, like, that's not going to be able to be replicated.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to keep getting closer and better and better and better, and some people won't even know the difference. But, like, in the short term, short to medium term, like that, the human experience is all that we're going to have left to share.
Yeah, it almost turns into, like, the currency of, like, that's the thing that AI will never be able to replace is that feeling. So it's like, well, how do you create that feeling as much as you can?
Yeah.
You talk about that your small group where you're like, oh, this one, like, felt so good, like everyone's talking and stuff. Like,
Right.
That's, like, the currency of it. It's like, that's so awesome.
Was a shared experience that we can all go back to. It's like, remember that one time at that dinner or that thing, right?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah,
AI
that
can,
was hilarious.
right?
That
Like,
dinner was
that dinner is a really good example of something that AI can be like, well, I have an idea of what it might be like to go to a dinner and be around a handful of 10 to 12 people, and at that restaurant, it can do all that stuff, but, like, it will never be able to describe, like, the electricity in that room and how wild just everyone was having a good time, and the layout of the dinner, like, incorporated it. That was real. Like, that was,
Yeah.
it won't be able to do, like, art.
Yeah, you can't
capture that. You can't bottle that.
Can't repeat it. Do you guys remember the lady who even came over and
Yeah,
was
she's like, oh, you guys look like you're having fun.
yeah, she's like, I want to join you guys. You guys sound like you're having a blast back here. And I was like, damn, how loud. If I was to go to the front of the restaurant, how much of it can I hear? Because she was sitting at the bar, and she was sitting maybe midway through the restaurant. So
She also was on her way to the bathroom, which was right next to us.
Well, okay, sure. But I feel like she got up on purpose to come and say something.
Yeah, that was cool. How long have you guys been doing those dinners? Like, since you started, or
since we started,
since we started.
We bought 6 Degrees. We, like, made it like a really clean, like, annual. So we had it starting in January of 2022.
Is when you guys bought, or, like, when you owned 6
date
Degrees.
that we
Yeah.
officially took over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and February of that same exact year was the first ever dinner that we hosted, and we've been doing them ever since. So it was, when we bought it, it was the very first. Eric's been doing, like, dinners, and you did this. You tell it. I don't know why I'm telling about the dinners.
It was
you did in Chicago.
so the way, so when we took it, I had this idea, and there's actually someone that's doing a version. I was like, oh, like, I wish I could have thought of that, but I had this idea, or I've been doing different versions of dinners for, like, the last 10 years, 15 years. Company I used to work for, we would do like these, kind of what we do now a little bit, but it was figuring out how to make the talent that we would work with feel really special. And so we would go to these restaurants where we knew the chefs, and like the chef would come out and kind of talk about the thing. We'd put their names on the menu, and it was like, and these are A-list celebrity type people were like, if I can get the reservation, I can get the reservation. Like, I've been to anywhere you want me to go, but I haven't been treated like this. And so there was something about that where they just got to show up, and like there was really small details. So I took some of that, and I really appreciated like how that made people feel, that again, like they're used to kind of having things done for them, and just like, yeah, I can get in. That's not a problem. I can drop the name, but like this, it was more than that, and doing it at some really, really great places. And then in addition to that, I had this thing back in Chicago where I moved out of the city after college, and I needed a reason to go back home. Or I moved back home, and I needed a reason to get back into the city. So I told a bunch of my friends, and it turned into a group of about 30. I'm like, hey, every Wednesday, I'm going to pick a restaurant. Some of them will be like super high end. Some of them will be like new spots. Some of them will be these kind of like divey places. But I'm going to pick a restaurant. Whoever can come, let me know. And whether it's 2 of us or 25 of us, we're going to do it every Wednesday. And I did that for like 4 years. And it became, we called it New Restaurant Wednesdays. We just went to all of these places, and I ended up having like this catalog of like really great date spots is what it turned into.
Yeah.
But I've always loved
That's fun.
just having a good time with people around food. And so when we took over 6 Degrees, I was like, I think, okay, we have a bunch of people. Like, I think this is going to be a really great way for us to incorporate this.
Yeah.
So that's how it started. It was like something I've been doing for a while. And then we've just kind of perfected of like how to make it feel like a really great experience for, it doesn't have to be a crazy budget. There's small things that we can do, but make it feel, and we've just kind of perfected. We've probably done 60 dinners at this point.
Mm-hmm.
We have a handful of places that we really, really love. Cali's one of them that we're
Cali
going
is
to.
one of them.
I'm pumped.
So there's a handful that we'll go back to here in San Diego. The biggest difference between Chicago and San Diego is that there's some really good food here, but you have to find it. In Chicago, there
It's
are
everywhere.
I can drop you on a corner, and there's 20. Right, that's what I miss about Chicago the most. But so it all kind of started with a couple things that I had experienced and that we were doing, and we've done pretty much. There's a few months that we've taken off, but pretty much every month since we've taken over, like the holidays will.
The attention to detail was it really stood out to me. It was the attention to detail, and really like, it was my first time, so it's like you're going in, you don't know any of these people, and it's like you assume that it's gonna be good as opposed to like not good. At least that's how I'm like, this is gonna be fine. But like, I just got in the car and I'm like, oh, like we were like actually hanging out. Like the conversation, you're just like letting it fly by the end of it. And it's like, it's so cool because a lot of these like networking events, I mean, all like they're fine too, but it's just like a different thing.
Yeah, it's a different level of intimacy, a different level of getting to know someone, right? And it's all by design, right?
Yeah.
I've talked to this about this. I think we've talked about it, but like just so the idea of part of it for us is like, so all of our event program is like humans are cubes. And so there's different sides, and I'm going to be more comfortable showing different sides at different places and different times. So if you and me, if we do this, we just sit in this room in this podcast, we're going to go pretty deep because it's kind of an extended timeline. But if we do this every week, like I'm kind of just going to get to see the podcast side of Tom, right, and of Christina, and as free flowing as this is, right, but like it's in this setting, it's kind of built, there's a frame around it, there's a container. But if you go to a dinner and then we're together and maybe there's some wine and we talk a little bit, or you're in the small group, or we do a one-on-one, like grab coffee, like all of these different dynamics are showing up, so we actually get to see the whole picture. Right, we can do the bigger events, maybe bring your wife, right? Oh, I get to meet Sammy, right? And I think part of that, even just Christine and I being business owners together, is like you get to see both of us, right? And I think that's a big part of why we just realized that's really powerful. And so when we think about events, and it's like, how do we help turn the cube just a little bit to make you maybe feel a little bit more comfortable to share something you don't normally feel? Right? But it's all very, very intentional. There's a lot of psychology in the details, especially at the dinners.
Well, I think it's really cool that you guys do this together because in a way, like, it makes me learn, like, it makes me understand both of you better knowing your partner. And I'm sure other people feel the same way. My parents had a business together, the two of them, and like I always like appreciated that they figured out a way to do it together and not like want to kill each other,
Yeah.
Because you worked for that business for a
Yeah.
while, right?
Yeah,
Before
the software company, it was a family business. It was for the probably 90% of the business. Like I think my mom like stopped doing it like maybe halfway through.
Okay.
So it was really just like my dad and I. But like when we were like coming up with the name and doing market research, it was like the middle of COVID. It was like me, my twin sister, my younger sister, my sister's boyfriend, who still works there as he's the head of product. But it was like, dude, it was.
Oh, you
my
kept it. You
entire-
kept it all in the family.
Oh yeah. I mean, one of my best friends is still there. He's one of like the sales leaders there, but yeah, I just always appreciated like the families that figure out a way to work together, because it's not always easy. Like
Very rarely is it easy.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. And I've talked to you about like this dream that Sammy and I have of like building this yoga brand. It's like I look at the way you guys operate, and it's like I'm taking little mental notes, because like, well, when Sammy and I do this together, like it's not always going to be easy, and it's like figuring out a way to, I don't know, like it's the most important relationship you have. So it's like if you're going to have a successful business, like you have to make sure that relationship is good. I can't imagine having a business and also having like the relationship side of it struggle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like it just seems like it's a bad combo. Like you got to have that piece good before anything else is good.
One of the most important decisions is picking your partner, whether that's a business or a relationship.
Yeah.
Right. And to have either one of the relationship and the business, or vice versa, to have either one of them struggling, and there's going to be times.
Yeah.
But to have both of them suffering is it's tough.
Yeah, because we're all in on this thing together, right? So yeah, if something happens, and if something happened to the business, that's both of us. I was talking to somebody recently who was talking about how she has struggles getting any investors, because they see it's her and her partner in their business together. The investors are looking at that as very risky, because they're in this relationship, this personal relationship together.
Because if the investors are thinking if the relationship doesn't work out, then the business is going to suffer.
It's an extra layer of risk.
Yeah, there's
right?
an extra, and her comeback to that was, well, we're both fully invested in this. If we don't put everything that we possibly can into it and we lose it, like we're both fucked, right?
Yeah.
Like, so
like there's no backup plan.
Yeah,
as opposed to if Eric had another job, like there's always that backup.
Yeah,
plan.
there's a little bit of security of like, well, we can lean into that if something happened, right? It's like, well, no, if we're both full in, and then we don't have any other choice.
Yeah.
There's no other option. So that was a really good point, and just like interesting to hear what they were struggling with just getting funded.
Yeah.
How is the yoga studio coming? Any updates?
It's the similar to like me talking about how I talked to a bunch of brokers. Like we've been talking to people that have done this before, and they're always like, "Oh, it takes way longer than you think." Mm-hmm. And I'm like, no, it doesn't. And then now I'm like, oh yeah, it does. So like, I'm like, no, it's not gonna happen to me.
Yeah, not me, not us.
Yeah, I'm like, dude,
I'll figure it out faster.
Yeah, we're special, but no, we're not special, because it's taking longer than we thought. But we're really close to locking down a place.
Yeah.
But like I said that 2 months ago.
You did say that.
So
2
it's
months
like,
ago.
yeah, I think I actually said those words to you 2 months ago. But that's a big step, and we're trying not to rush it, because I just feel like everything builds around, well, where is it, you know? But we're close. I'll shoot you a text when we actually like get the spot, because that's a big milestone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll have to celebrate it.
Yeah.
So, well, this went by fast, because they always do. So thank you for coming on here and hanging out with us and just kind of shooting the shit. I love the whole gardening thing. I'm going to be thinking about that. And anything that comes up gardening related, it's going to be, I'll be sending it to you. So,
all right, cool. Well, you have my phone number. Thanks for having me on, you guys. I really appreciate it.
Yeah. As a reinforcement, do you have a reinforcement that you want to end with, Eric?
I don't.
What's
top of mind?
Sure. What's just for everyone for this conversation? What's one takeaway that we're all leaving with?
My head's spinning about the gardening. But I mean, maybe it's because we just talked about this, but one takeaway I have is just like the relationship side of the business. The fact that you guys need to take care of your relationship. Obviously, you and Eric's relationship is the most important one, but I'm sure you have other relationships that play into the success of 6 Degrees, and making sure those relationships continue to stay solid is really important. And like, I have never thought about that piece until probably just now. Like, you always just think of like, obviously, like your wife or like your partner, but like there's other relationships that are important. So that's a takeaway that I have.
Yeah.
In business, it's all relationships, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's, ask any business owner how important relationships are to their business and the success of their business. It could be my vendors, it could be my partners, it could be my clients, it could be my team, it could be my significant other, who, whether they're in the business or not.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friends,
my
family,
friends, my mentors, my family, right? Like,
Absolutely.
all of this it's all relationships, and that's part of the reason why we're doing what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
My head is definitely, the ideas are flowing for gardening puns, gardening.
I do love puns.
Gardening,
so
analogies.
You'll get some of those from me now.
So I will, yeah. I'm gonna follow Tommy Green Thumb.
Yep.
Yes.
3 M's.
3 M's.
3
You
M.
don't. Yeah. You can follow 2 M's if you want, but you'll find me with the 3 M's. It's up to you.
Yeah, I think I love that, just like the video piece of it. Like, yes to the gardening, and even just like the video piece, and how we talked about John and his presence, and just seeing more of that, seeing more people lean into building out their personal brand. And it's something that I've been working on too, and we've already had some positive momentum from people who have seen stuff on social media and seen some of my activity. So like, I love that you're leaning into that, and I have seen success with that, so that's really cool, and I'm excited to see more of your content.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you guys.
Thanks for coming on. Well, I think one of the things that I wanted to talk about from this episode was just what we talked about with purpose and work. I think there's a lot of purpose tied into what we're doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if we weren't doing what we were doing, like, where would purpose show up for you? Or in what other ways outside of what we're doing does purpose show up for you, I guess, is maybe a better question.
In what other ways is it currently showing up? I mean, that is an interesting question, because I think something that you and I have pointed out often is the fact that we've built this business to be so integrated into our lives. And I do see that, I mean, there are things, we talk about how we haven't been on vacation, things like that we need to incorporate more of and bring back into our lives. But even just like most of my relationships, my friendships, the people who I surround myself with are at least touching 6 Degrees in some capacity. So I don't, it's hard for me to, I guess, maybe separate something out.
Yeah, I mean, part of when we sat down and just defined the purpose of 6 Degrees, so enriching people's lives and helping people get closer to their potential, and then connecting people.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, 6 Degrees doesn't have to exist for those things to be happening.
Well, I guess I think that's it's a lot of who we are anyway.
Yeah.
So if 6 Degrees doesn't exist, I think you and I find ways to live that purpose, the 6 Degrees purpose that we defined. Because, I mean, what did we do when we created our purpose and our values? We sat down and we looked internally first, each of us, and like wrote down purpose and values and what brings that to us, and then tied it and weaved it into, like, how do we put that into 6 Degrees in the business. So, I mean, it's another reason why, like, when we talk about how this type of I guess, service, like this purpose, this thing that we're doing has been ingrained in us from the beginning. I mean, our wedding being such a unique, beautiful way to bring people together. And I mean, that was before we knew anything about 6 Degrees, or even, I don't even know if we were already talking about moving to San Diego at that point. So I think we would have been doing it with anything that we would have started or found or
Potentially. I mean, I guess, do you think because of the way that we went about building this business, that what we talked about with Tom, where it's more of like work and having a job and having my purpose be like kind of wrapped into my identity, my purpose be wrapped into my identity around work, do you feel like that's not necessarily the case for us because we started with, well, what's important, and then are applying that to the thing that we're doing instead of the other way around?
um
Or or purpose is purpose, and however I am able to express it, I'm gonna find a way to express it if I figure that piece out.
yeah, I mean, I think if I figure out like what is my purpose, then I can execute that in a lot of different ways. It might right now look like 6 Degrees, and whenever that's over, if it, however that comes about, I think I will still be somebody who is I think my behaviors will still show up in a way that aligns with what we do at 6 Degrees. You know what I'm saying? I guess, like, I don't think if 6 Degrees didn't exist tomorrow, I think I would still do the same things that I'm doing. It might look a little bit different, but hosting people in meaningful ways and creating memories and connecting people and being curious and being able to provide a safe space. Today, again, I was told today in a lunch meeting that I had, the person who I was sitting with was like, they said, I don't have these types of conversations with other people. I don't genuinely bring up these types of topics. I usually, because it's honestly kind of scary to do that in most situations. And they said, I feel really safe with you. I feel really comfortable to talk about this. I feel right. And so I think that is tied into my own personal purpose, and it's how we created the 6 Degrees purpose. And so that's how I will operate regardless of what vessel it's going through or use or whatever.
Sure.
Do you feel differently, like, or think differently about both of your questions?
No, I think I would agree. It's just, it actually probably would be more freeing to not have it tied to the work piece and money. Part of what we were talking about, or my point when I was with Tom, was like, if we just if there's millions of people unemployed, which could happen in the next 5 to 10 years, it's a very realistic possibility, that good chance. So if work, the way that work shows up is just completely different. Like so much of the challenge of what we have been doing is turning this into a business.
Yeah.
And it might actually be more freeing and easier and less stressful if the money part wasn't part of it.
I mean, sure, if we had all the funds in the world and we didn't ever have to, it was just like, yep, we can just go do it. I mean, of course, if we had the money to just do it and do it for free.
Well, so I guess part of what I'm saying is what if the way that the whole economy is set up and money just doesn't work the same way? Because there's this chain reaction that if a bunch of people are laid off,
Mm-hmm.
and then that means there's no income to spend,
Mm-hmm.
and capitalism kind of falls apart, and the economy falls apart unless there's universal basic income, which doesn't really make sense because there's not really an incentive to do that. So most people work because I need to make money, to be able to do the stuff that I want to do, but I spend so much of my time working a job that I don't like. So like, what happens if there's just no need to work because doesn't work the same way that it did? And not that I'm saying like bank on that. My purpose in life is tied to the work that I'm doing and the fulfillment that I'm providing for what feels like I'm providing for other people through my work. If that's just gone, and maybe I'm as I'm talking, it's like maybe just that's how I need to think about it. Because we have had conversations where take out the money metric of what we're doing is by far like the most rewarding, most fulfilling. Couldn't imagine to be doing anything else.
For sure.
What we get to do is it doesn't feel like work.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean,
until the money part comes up and it's like, well, financially, this business model and the way we have it set up is really frustrating.
yeah, I guess if I'm looking into the future and this AI and all that you're talking about, and if it got to the point where it's like, well, they don't really have jobs, there would still be people providing services for each other, right? And even if there wasn't a monetary piece tied to it, and so I think we would still be doing the same service that we're doing now. Because what you're saying, right, is it's like it doesn't feel like work. Everything that we have done in any other definition of like success and the fulfillment piece, right? So I think we would be able to hold on to purpose and our fulfillment and what we
Yeah, I think so.
created.
So I just think about what we did with Family Day as an example, where we had the cookout in a park. I was grilling, and I was happy to be grilling, and that was a version of enriching people's lives. The highest potential piece, not as much for that particular event, but it was bringing people together for a really casual memory-making experience where connections were created and people met each other's families. And I said this when we were debriefing on that event, I was like, that's when, to me, with everything that we've done the last couple of years, like that's when it really felt like a community. The community element of that event, because there weren't other people in the room, right? It was people and their families. Versus like, well, we have a couple people that aren't really part of it yet. And so it's part of me is like, how do we do that more?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, that's a good point. And I think another aspect of that is because it was the community and their families, it was so far removed from like any type of association to networking, right? The other events that we host, because I guess 90% business owners basically that are coming. I mean, there's some of our our STFC game had a lot of spouses, but it was very much about like business owners meeting business owners, and this was more just families are meeting families. And it definitely felt like families meeting families.
Yeah, and there was still like a networking element to it. People are asking what each other does, and
yeah, I mean, it's that, yes, and I just feel like it didn't have that feeling at all, and that's why like the community piece was so pungent. Maybe I don't know if I want to use that word, but yeah.
To me, like, how do we do more of that? And from a connecting the community standpoint, right? I think that's when we talked about like these different events and different stuff, like that's, to me, was what's missing. There are, I think, most people in 6 Degrees, I know my group pretty well, and then there's a handful of 5, 10, 15 people that being part of the community, I've gotten to know them pretty well. But I would say most people don't know half.
Oh, for sure.
Of the members,
definitely.
Right? And it's not in the level of depth that we're talking about or hoping for. Or so how do we do that? How do we bring people together and have it be more of a cohesive, supportive community? I think that element is missing. Not missing. It's just.
I was like, I don't think it's missing.
It could be more.
Sure.
It's maybe lacking is a better term.
I still think we should do some type of talent show event. I mean, because think about what so everything that you're saying and the family piece of it, I mean, that's such a intimate part of my life, is to bring my family to something, get my family involved in something. And so a talent show type of experience, I think that's a part of somebody that like I had no idea, right? That they could do this thing, they could play this instrument, or that's something that is, and then to be able to actually witness it and experience it, right? There's another difference between someone who's been like, oh yeah, I can play the ukulele, and then actually like getting to see them and see their talent. That would be really fun, I think. And we already have a venue and a stage, so
Grease talent show, huh?
I think it would give the same type of outcome and vibe that you were describing that Family Day did. I think something like that would
I would agree. I just, when I think talent show, I just think, is there any time or place where anyone does a talent show outside of high school or younger?
I can't think of one.
Other than being an actor or actress,
right?
Or in theater and doing auditions.
I mean, but like, how cool though, like to have the opportunity to do that as an adult.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know.
Could dust off my old acting chops. Could do a monologue. That would be crazy to do a monologue for the 6 Degrees members. Oh my god.
Yeah, I would need to know if people are actually interested in that. I would want to know what the talents are. We might need to host auditions. This sounds like a lot of work.
Okay, well.
I'm sure it would be fun and people would be excited. It's just.
Did you say we'd have to host auditions? You're crazy.
We might need to.
Why?
What if we had 40 people be like, I have a talent? It's like, well, we don't have 40 slots. We have 15 or 12 or 10.
we're gonna audition you.
You didn't make the cut. Well, we've already got 5 people doing monologues. Sorry, Christina. Yeah, that's all I got.
Well, then put her there.
Put her there, bub.
Put her there, bub.
Put her in a talent show.
Put her in a talent show, bub.